Oh boy. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. Let me update all my titles really quick. All right. Perfect. Back to Dark Souls. During the vacation. How did that even happen? I tried playing Elden Ring Night Rain. I was not in a place with functioning Wi-Fi. Well, I was. But the Wi-Fi was... Hold on. It broke for some reason. It's interesting. Hold on. Hold on. Interesting. Oh, maybe I have an idea. What happened? Oh, so loud. Tis the problem. I see. I'm on the wrong save. I thought that the mod and normal versions had separate saves. I was wrong. Also, apparently I beat the last randomizer in 12 hours? I must have been goated with it. I don't even think it took that long, actually, because... Yeah, that's weird. Huh. Oh, right, I had a really good weapon. That'll do it. Right, Night Rain. That was what I was talking about. Yeah, I tried Night Rain for a little bit. I was playing solo, not intended, I'm aware. I can see the appeal, for sure. But I think I need to get there. I think I need buddies to play with. I think like most of my friends have it. I just don't think any of us have really played it at all. So, that's interesting. This hasn't really come up, I guess. God, this elevator is so fucking slow. I was also playing on Steam Deck, which brings its own slate of issues. None that are really that major, if we're being honest. I'm just bad. And I chose Executioner first, who is not really a character you can play alone, just because they're built literally like Wolf from Sekiro. That's the whole point. They're literally from the world of Sekiro. And so they have the exact same parry as Wolf, and that comes with the problems of Wolf's parry, which don't come up in Sekiro very often, because it's built so that doesn't happen, which is mainly multiple enemies. Right, Sekiro is built so you never have to fight more than one enemy at a time, because the developers are aware that that feels bad with Wolf's parry. It's basically unfair. Like, it's not built to deal with multiple enemies at once. Like, fundamentally. So they made it so you didn't have to. So never in the game will there be two will there be two aggressive enemies at once. There will be several aggroed enemies at once, but never two that are actively attempting to kill you. That just doesn't happen. Like, very explicitly does not happen. The game doesn't tell you that, but you figure it out pretty quick. If you're in a group of 5 enemies, 4 of them are gonna wait their fucking turn before coming in to try and kill you, because they're all just so gosh dang polite, you know? And I really appreciate that about them. That's gonna kill me. What is happening? I'm stuck in his fucking tail. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not doing great on health. A lot worse than he is, at least. It's almost like I've rarely ever fought this boss. I never found this guy in my first playthrough. I don't know where that laser is. I don't know where that laser is. What am I talking about? Oh, right, Night Rain. So, also, Night Rain kind of has the problem of being really complicated and telling you far less than maybe it should. Like, fuck off, dude. There are, within Night Rain, god damn it, man. Dozens of I literally am. I'm locked when you keep doing these things, dude. There are a lot of structure types, and while yes, there is a place in which you can read about each structure type and what they have, that doesn't actually lead to you knowing how to play Night Rain and what structure. Like, I will basically probably never fucking go into a mine ever again, because it's kind of fundamentally a bad structure for Night Rain. Unless it's in the center of the map, you're probably just gonna fucking die. Dude, fuck off. Oh my god. Mostly just because it's weird to, I don't know, have a time limit, I guess. And I also always have a problem with a certain segment of Souls games where dying... What? Okay, I just need to finish one up. Okay. Where dying is... sorry, I'm super distracted. Refocus. Okay. I don't like it when in a Souls game dying has a punishment other than losing, other than dying, right? It's kind of one of my core philosophical problems with Bloodborne is that if you die in Bloodborne, it's a punishment. Not actually, right? Nothing, you don't, there is nothing that explicitly punishes you other than the fact, okay, other than the fact that you have just burned a bunch of health items. In a game like Dark Souls 3, that isn't, there's no punishment there. Yes, I use an Ember and a Divine Blessing, but my core source of healing is still exactly how it was before the fight. Nothing's changed. But you can't say that about Bloodborne. And Night Rain, it has a little bit of the death as a punishment. Just because you lose a level, you get the souls back, I think. But fundamentally, it is still somewhat of a punishment, especially more mechanically, because you die, then, well,
I hear a blessing. If you should bless.
then you run into being moved back to wherever it decides to spawn you, which may be way, way further away than where you want to be, and you've just been, that's a punishment, especially with the time constraint built into Night Rain. I know Night Rain wouldn't function without aforementioned time constraint, but I don't know, something. I fundamentally have a problem with roguelikes. They just don't work with my damn brain, man. I don't know what it is. My brain is like, that's stupid. Why would I ever do that? What? I don't get it. I've tried, I've tried the best in the business, and I just nothing, man. Nothing really works. I've played Hades. I didn't vibe with it particularly much. I've played Balatro recently. That's fun, but I run into the problem I have with any game like it, which is that it requires good luck to win. And I'm fine with a random game, but my favorite thing about card games, specifically my two favorite card games, Hold'em and Blackjack, well, is that you can, yes, bad luck, you will still lose, probably. With skill, you can turn it around. I could have literally the worst hand in poker and bluff my ass till I win. That's an option. But if I'm playing Balatro and I'm just really not getting anything, I can't bluff. If I just am getting the most dog shit jokers imaginable, and I'm not getting the planets I need and other various things, then you're kind of just fucked. And I think I don't do that well. It's something I've run into actually a number of times over the years. The only roguelike I've ever finished, it was technically it was a roguelite, because you keep some abilities at the end, right? Like you permanently upgrade your character. It was a Cult of the Lamb, and I think it's because the dungeons were so short. Which I think is the reason why I've stuck with Balatro as long as I have, which isn't particularly long, but it's longer than any of the others. Right? It's a pretty low bar. I don't exactly have mountains of time in Hades, or, I played Dead Cells for a little bit over my vacation as well. One of my friends got it for me, and I am meaning to go back to that one, because it runs into it does not run into as much the things I don't like about most roguelikes, which is you need luck. You don't need luck to beat a Souls-like. Completely unnecessary. Are they helpful? Is it helpful? Yeah, man, if I get the fucking, I don't know, some weapon called like the Dark Scepter of the Demon God, and do 8,000 damage per hit, yeah, man, I'm gonna be pretty good. But if I'm chilling in Balatro and getting a bunch of dog shit, then I'm not gonna be able to be like, well, I can come back from this. It'll be, oh, I've lost. Okay. Like, and even sometimes you can have the best build imaginable and still lose because of just the cards are just. I pressed dodge. God damn it. Oh. Oh, I want the Nameless King. Shut the fuck up. Or Consume King. It's so distracting. It's impressively distracting. Just to have somebody like, oh, my dear Ocelot. Oh, how much I wish you weren't dead. Like, shut the fuck up, man. I'm trying to focus. Shut your goofy ass up. God damn. Fucking rat. Yeah, so, I don't know. Some people love roguelikes. A lot of my friends are big roguelikes people. I got a friend who I think is 100% Binding of Isaac. Like, all achievements, all everything. Yeah, he has. And I just... Ugh. I enjoy a tasteful, well done, not that Isaac or any of those aren't tasteful, a tasteful, well done, well made story and linear experience. I appreciate replayability, but I'm fine if there isn't any. If the game is made better due to a lack of replayability, I'm not going to complain. Some people might, but I rarely replay games. There have only been a few games in my entire life I've ever replayed. For the most part, I'm a one and done. There's a few I think about replaying, and then I start replaying them, and then I'm like, oh right, I forgot why I don't like replaying games. Which is interesting because I love re-experiencing things, right? I am a huge book rereader. I will reread books all the damn time, man. I'm currently rewatching Game of Thrones, although I have been reading the books. That's part of it. Is, you know, people have my dear father included, my great aunt as well, have kind of bitched endlessly about the TV show sometimes. Not all of it. My dad was a huge fan. He was one of those, like, one of the many who, you know, as it came out weekly were like, I'm set this hour. This is a sacred hour. This is set aside. I'm not doing anything else. But I'd never read the books before when I read it. I mean, watched it. I watched the show, I don't know, a couple of years ago. It was like, I started watching it. Christmas Vacation came up, and I was like, oh, all right. And okay. I started watching it. Christmas Vacation came around, and then I finished watching it, and it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. But having now read the books, I have more thoughts about it. It's still a fucking amazing TV show. And the books help me appreciate it that much more, in the same way that the TV show helped me appreciate the books that much more. Mostly because I wasn't going into the world of Game of Thrones not knowing anything. I went into it knowing who all the characters were, which I think was really helpful, because good God, there's so many damn characters. The TV show actually cuts down on the amount of characters a lot. Like, the part I'm in right now, the first, like, real character combination that I immediately noticed Oh man, they removed fucking Kevin Lannister, didn't they? That guy was great. Why did they remove him? Love Kevin Lannister. Love him. I guess he's still alive. At this point in the book. I don't know. Who knows? It's Game of Thrones. Shit happens. Is... Oh, fuck, was it? Gendry. I don't remember his last name. I don't know what bastards are called in King's Landing. I know they're called in the north and in the Riverlands. And Dorne. But I don't know what they're called in King's Landing. I don't remember. If you're even never told. You probably are at some point. But I mean, like, you know, Riverlands is rivers, kind of right there. North is snow. Dorne is sand. And they're all given clever last names. They're not clever at all. They're super fucking... I mean, they're supposed to be offensive, right? Supposed to be names being like, you are less to us than these things. Even though they're all very important things, right? The sands of... Whatever. Point is, Gendry in the in the books gets to the Brotherhood Without Banners, run by Beric Dondarrion, and then it leaves. All right, he's gone. That's the last you see of him, at least for like 2 books. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. There's a whole extra book I haven't read. Whereas in the TV show, he's a pretty constant character because he replaces Edric Storm. Oh, that's what they call them in the Stormlands. Around the Storm's End. Or the Stormy Shores, I think? Oof. Oh, man. Anyway, the TV show allowed me to go into the books and not immediately be like, what the fuck is going on? Who are all these people? Why are there... It's been 30 pages. Why are there been 40 names dropped? Why is it not like, hi, my name's John? I meant that as like a random nothing name, but Jon Snow. And then it just kind of like goes from there. But I love the fact that it jumps around so much. I know that can probably be a lot for people, but I kind of love it. It shows that the world is always moving. Especially when the characters learn things that no one else has learned yet. Like the first time you learn what happened to Robb Stark's direwolf and his now beheaded corpse is when you're in the perspective of someone else. I don't remember who it is. You don't learn at the moment it happens because nobody's there. Arya's around, but she isn't, like, in the twins enough to see the now decapitated body of her brother. And also, in the books, Thoros of Myr brings back Catelyn Stark. And she just fucking dies in the TV show. They're just like, oh, fuck this bitch, she's dead. But I think they're getting... around the end of season, about the Red Wedding, is I think when they decided, man, we're in way over our heads here. What the fuck? Holy shit. Especially because end of season 1 is when A Dance with Dragons released. Wait, is that what it's called? Whatever book 5 is called. I'm pretty sure it's A Dance with Dragons. Like, that's when it released, was end of season 1. So that's when they really started to learn, oh, this is what we've committed ourselves to adapting. And then they quickly caught up with the amount of content that was written. I'm getting my shit kicked in, dude. I'm getting no further than this. I don't even know if you can parry him. I guess I can try. Probably won't go very well, but I can try. I think I have a small shield parry. Shake, parry. There we go. Wait, that's not a small shake. No, I guess I can just unequip. Option. Adaptation, Game of Thrones. Right. Yeah, it's a lot. The same thing happened. Basically, whenever an adaptation shifts things slightly or combines things, I'm usually okay with it. I'm pretty harsh when it comes to adaptations, because the only adaptations I give a shit about are the ones that are very important to me. So when Ready Player One's movie came out, I was like, oh, this is one of my favorite books of all time. I really hope this is good. And then it was really bad. And so I'm very harsh on that movie. And then Ready Player 2 came out, and it's like, oh, wait, I think Ready Player 1 was a fluke, actually. All right. The adaptation of The Martian is up there. I'd say Lord of the Rings adaptation. I mean, I do love Lord of the Rings, but I mean, Peter Jackson just did such a fucking amazing job. But once again, there were a lot of combinations and removals. So I think I used to get mad at them, but as I learned more about film and what goes into making a film or a TV show, more and more I realized, oh wait, I should be glad these even exist, in a way. So there are truly so many combinations and removals in Game of Thrones, most of which I'm completely fine with. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Oh, right. There we go. Punch. That was really bad. Let me check if you can actually fucking parry this guy. I was still alive? Yeah. Like, most of book 3 is any moment spent with Robb Stark is at River Run. River Run barely comes up in the TV show, despite it being fucking awesome. 3 nameless king. Let's see if you could parry his bitch ass. Can't be parried. Okay. Understood. Got it, boss. Anyway, River Run's really cool. They didn't really introduce Brynden Tully or the Blackfish, which, I mean, he starts showing up, but it's like just before the Red Wedding, which is super lame because I like the Blackfish a lot. He's a great character. They fucked up Harrenhal. In the book, it's a massive damaged castle, but has been in constant use since its building 300 years before. Yes, it was melted by dragons, but it isn't a giant ruin. It's a fully functional castle with like baths and a great hall and 5 towers that are all completely functional towers. They're just kind of melted a little bit. Whereas the TV show is like, I don't want to have a castle the size of a moderate-sized city. We don't have the budget for that. So it's going to be a giant blasted ruin. But, you know, whatever. So a lot of changes. Some of them annoy me, but also the things that annoy me the most, I think, they're being changed in Game of Thrones are things about the castles. Because they're fucking awesome. Like, basically every castle in Game of Thrones is so amazingly unique, and all of them are so cool. like Harrenhal being the largest castle ever built with walls like what the fuck, like 20 or 30 feet thick. Like we're talking a psychotic castle here. Like, you know, this is I have so much extra time on my hands that I can make a Minecraft castle. I can make everyone's dream Minecraft castle. Right, that's what Black Heron built. Is that. And then literally the day he started living in it, well, I think it was the week. The week the castle was finished, Aegon the Conqueror shows up in Dragonstone, and then like 2 months later is at the door of Harrenhal and is like, hey, you better bow down to me or I'm going to murder your ass with Dragonfire. And Harren the Black's like, yeah, right, and then gets murdered by Dragonfire. But also, if I had spent like 15 years building the greatest castle that has ever and probably will ever be built, I'd probably be there. Probably be like that too. So, you know. Basically, I run into the problem that I love the weird nitty-gritty details of worlds so much. It's my favorite thing. Like, oh, I love it. I love when a world is truly in depth, and there's few deeper worlds than fucking Game of Thrones. It's like being dropped into the middle of an ocean. Very deep ocean. It's, okay, it's like, you know, the TV show, you know, you got some depth there, but they simplified it a lot. As you're wont to do with something so complicated. Yeah, the books are a lot more. It's taken me like 6 months to get through 3.5 books. And I read pretty quick. They're just long, in-depth books. And each of them has like 50 pages of appendix that are all just family trees and, you know, kind of just a who's who. How did that hit me? I was miles away. I wasn't. That one was... I don't think I just... Oddly enough, I don't know if I have the best weapon to fight, you know, Nameless King. This is a... Okay, how did that hit me? This also isn't a great arena for it. It's kind of cramped. And there's a lot of shit going on around here. Like, I was staggered, brother. Point is, rewatching Game of Thrones, as I've been reading through the books, I've been trying to be like, man, I don't remember, I don't feel like much has changed. And then rewatching it, I'm realizing that I just forgot a lot of the TV show, and that just so much changed. Just so much changed. Most of it is pretty minor. It's the changing and combining that I mentioned earlier, which is really nothing. It's all what you'd expect. Removal of the entire thing at River Run, a shortening of the time at Harrenhal for Arya Stark. What else has really been cut down? Less of Bran Stark and all of them just walking. Way less time spent with the wildlings north of the wall, which sucks. But I'm glad they still have Tormund Giantsbane and that he's basically the same, because he's fucking awesome and great. And I didn't remember exactly. Like, I remember that Jon Snow was really close with one of the wildlings who wasn't Ygritte. I'm so glad they kept Tormund Giantsbane, because he's fucking great. They simplified a lot of the things with Daenerys Targaryen. It's mostly just shortening, right? And it's not very hard to shorten. Most of Game of Thrones is detail. People like to joke about Martin and Tolkien, they'd take 600 pages to describe a picnic because they're describing every tree and flower they see along the way. And while, I mean, he's not wrong. You're not wrong if you say that. It's pretty succinctly accurate, actually. It's also my favorite thing about those authors. But it makes it a lot easier when you have a visual medium in which to show people that. You don't need to go into depth about what a weirwood looks like. You can just fucking show them a weirwood. Instead of, there are these huge, imposing white trees with red leaves and faces carved into them. You can just show them that in 3 seconds. And, that's a weird, creepy tree anyway. You don't need to explain the entire backstory of Baelor the Blessed. Baelor the Blessed, actually. And why the main hall, or one of the great halls of the Red Keep, is called the Maiden Vault. And that's actually Baelor's fault because his sisters were really beautiful, and he's like, I don't want to be tempted by them, so I'm going to lock them in this giant room for like 15 years or some shit and then kill myself by fasting. Don't need to explain all that. You can just not mention it at all, actually. And it doesn't change the primary story that nobody knows, that you don't know anything about Baelor the Blessed. But, okay. Joffrey's birthday. In the TV show, Tyrion sends a couple of whores to his bedchamber and is like, hey, you should, be a man. You're like 14, and in this world, that's counts as a man, technically, as 16 is, but 14, whatever, you're king. Ah. And then that's when he, I think, like, kills one of them, basically. No, he forces one to kill the other because it's Joffrey, and they somehow made him so much worse in the TV show. In a way, he's bad in the books, but, like, he's evil in the TV show. Okay, that was so bad. In the book, instead, Tyrion gives him a book. I think it's called The Lives of the Four Kings by some Archmaester of the long past. That covers the reign of, I think, Aegon the Conqueror, Maegor the Cruel, Baelor the Blessed, and Aerys the Unworthy, I think. I almost certainly got one or two of those wrong. I don't think it's Aegon and Maegor. Maegor might be in there, actually. I don't think Aegon the Conqueror is. No need, he's the most famous of the kings. So, and maybe he talks about his predecessor. Or not predecessor. Whatever. This book covers the reign of these kings. Their ups, their downs, their follies, and their good ideas. And as I'm reading it, Tyrion is talking about how a good king learns from past kings to change how he rules. And also that it's kind of an interesting book. And thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I'd probably read that. That sounds really interesting, actually, especially with, if it was, because I know Baelor the Blessed was in there, and I feel like Aerys the Unworthy was, which are two really interesting kings. You have the king who built the Great Sept of Baelor, and is in a way like the religious foundation of the Seven Kingdoms, despite the fact that his like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Aegon the Conqueror, is the reason that the Seven are worshipped in Westeros. Because the first men, when they came over and began speaking to the children of the forest, were like, damn, your creepy-ass tree gods are actually, like, I think the real gods. So fuck whatever gods we had. Fuck the 7. We're gonna do our own fucking. We're gonna. Yeah, we like your gods. They're cool. I just tanked that shit. That was crazy. And Eris the Unworthy. Is basically the reason the whole series is happening. And he's Baelor the Blessed son. If I remember correctly. No, he isn't his son. He's like his cousin. Baelor the Blessed never had any kids. But when Baelor died, it went to Eris the Unworthy. I feel like my timeline's wrong though, because instead of Eris the Unworthy, it was supposed to be Aemon Targaryen, who is Maester Aemon of the Night's Watch. Point is, Eris the Unworthy was someone who wasn't supposed to be king. He was supposed to be Lord of Dragonstone or something. He was gonna have some type. He was a Targaryen, but he was kind of an offshoot Targaryen who was gonna, be very noble, but never be king until there were no sons left to be king, so it went to him. His direct family tree then led to Eris II, the Mad King, which led to Robert Baratheon's rebellion and, everything else that happened. Where was I getting to it? Right, the book. Anyway, the book Tyrion gave Joffrey is... Maybe it was his wedding gift. It was his wedding gift because he had just gotten his new Valyrian steel sword. That means it was actually his wedding gift. And Joffrey, with his new Valyrian steel sword, was like, I don't want your stupid fuck off book, uncle. I'm gonna, you know what? And then he cuts it to pieces. And one of his cousins is like, hey, yeah, I don't know if you give a shit, but in the entirety of the 7 Kingdoms, there are but 4 copies of this book written by the original Maester. And then Joffrey responds with, well, now there's 3, which is so fucked. God, he's such a fucking terrifyingly bad human being. Like, when your 9-year-old brother is a better king than you, and it goes into... The books go into Tommen's reign a good amount. You follow both Jaime and Cersei. It also... Man, the books show Cersei in such a different light. Because you're getting her direct internal monologue. It's not just like the things she's saying to other people. It's her direct thoughts. And it is so clear so quickly how completely fucked up she is because of, both her children dying. Or, well, one of her children dying. That really, really fucks her ass up. She becomes so suspicious of everyone and everything. So quickly, she begins believing she's better than everyone else. Oh, especially after Tywin Lannister dies. It's a whole thing. Let's go with this. Right. Maybe that happens. I haven't actually gotten to Joffrey's wedding. That's in a couple episodes. That does happen. Oh, maybe it does. Point is, a lot of combinations and condensing. Otherwise, very good. Way better than many other adaptations. Because, well, until it starts going completely off the fucking rails. They also just did something many adaptations aren't able to do is still make a fundamentally good product. Some are. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining and his version of 2001: A Space Odyssey are great examples. Where, well, his 2001 is a pretty solid adaptation, and Arthur C. Clarke, I think, liked Kubrick's version better than his own because 2010's Second Odyssey the book is a direct sequel to the movie, not 2001: A Space Odyssey, the book. So, but his version of The Shining is, as far as accuracy goes, pretty bad. But as far as a film goes, one of the most legendary films of all time ever still. I have my own opinions about it. It has the same problem I have with 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is that, God, it's so fucking long. They're amazingly shot and directed and acted films. Like, my God, they're so good. Why did my game stutter? Please don't stutter. I'm in the middle of something. But, I don't know. I've talked to my friends about adaptations a lot, to the point where I think several of them are completely fucking sick of my shit. Well, actually, that's normal. They're usually sick of my shit. Are you hiding from me? Apparently apparently you can actually see the baby ocelot at some point. That's hearsay on my part. So I get really defensive over adaptations. Like I said, they're usually because it's because they're things I really, really care about. Like Dune. I love Dune. Denis Villeneuve did a super fucking amazing job. There are a couple parts that I don't like, but they're few and far between. And his real test will be how he does on Dune Messiah, because way more complicated in the first book, because there's no longer like introductions, right? Everything's introduced. You're not really meeting any new character. I mean, there's plenty of new characters and concepts, but for the most part, right, the fundamentals were set up by the original Dune, and then expanded upon by Messiah. But it's also, I think, way better than the first book. I think the story's more interesting. It goes into more interesting concepts and topics about, prescience and Paul's responsibilities as new fucking emperor of the universe, and sort of how he's been dealing with it, and the fact that he can see the future, every possible future, and can personally decide what way the entire rest of time goes. And the struggles he runs into with still being human and having to make choices that he doesn't want to make, and in fact failing to make choices he has to make. It's there. The first Dune is a story about revenge and evil. Messiah is a story about the nature of evil and humanity. And it's going to be so hard to do because he only has one movie, too. He has 3 movies. 2 of them are the first Dunes, Dune Part 1 and Dune 2, which cover just the first book. And now he has 1 movie left to do Messiah. It took Andrew Jackson? Fuck, that's not the name. Peter Jackson. There we go. Where did I get Andrew? Peter Jackson. It took him 9 hours of movie. Let's be honest. It took him 12 hours of movie to accurately and yet still cut down and condensed Lord of the Rings, a novel series that, if you have the 1-book version, which I do, is like 1,200 pages. It took him 12 hours to do that. About 100 pages an hour, which is pretty good. About what you'd expect, actually. Villeneuve has 3 hours, maybe 3.5. No, 3, because he does it in IMAX. And IMAX movies can only be so long. Like, physically can only be so long, because IMAX is still completely on analog film. And there's only so big a film roll can be before no camera, before no projector on Earth can fucking hold it. And there ain't no seamless swapping out of gigantic fucking film reels. Because these things are like 8 feet in diameter. Like we're talking gigantic film reels. Yeah. Anyway, he has 3 hours to cover a 600-page book with the depth and complexity of Lord of the Rings. I don't know if he'll be able to do it, especially because he put off explaining the abomination Alia and sort of how that whole thing works. We'll see. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. I don't have high hopes, unfortunately. But I can hope. Actually, I'm clearly not hoping. I just said so. I want to hope, but it would be disingenuous if I did. So we'll see how well he does. Because if we're being honest, books like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Dune, they should have TV shows. Each book of Game of Thrones has like 8 hours at least to get all this information in. And even then, they're still condensing it pretty heavily. Just imagine how good other adaptations could be with that amount of time. If only. I know why they didn't. In a way, it's TV shooting schedules are far, far more exhausting than movies. Movies have a pretty lenient schedule, actually. It's like 2 weeks that are kind of rough, and then you're not doing anything for 8 months because principal photography's done, right? Maybe there's a couple of shots that need to be redone here or there, but those are pretty rare. You know, things need to be changed, but usually they have other takes or whatever. Whereas a TV show is months and months of constant, unending effort. And then once the episodes come out, and they're like, yep, you did good. Good job. You get another season. It's like, cool. Now we have 8 more months of really hard, constant, daily work. Yay. What a prize. Dear Ocelot. Okay. Just trying to see if I maybe have a different sword I can use. I really don't want to fall back on great swords, but I'm kind of running into the problem of getting my shit kicked in. What is he resistant to? Maybe that's a problem. Because if he's resistant to slashing, then I'm fucked. No, it doesn't really look like it. Yeah, not specific resistant to any kind of damage. I'm just getting my shit kicked in, though. I'm looking for archive keys. Oh wait, I know where to find them. I know where to find the information. Face to Fast, Golden Scroll, Storm Ruler. Dreamcatcher's Ashes. Jailbreaker's Key, B1, Far South. I think I have that. Okay, so I'm looking for where Grand Archives key is. Because I need that. Consume King's Garden. Okay, it's in Consume King's Garden. What's it called? Dragon something? I don't remember what the pose is called that allows you to get to Art Dragon. What is that called? Pose? No. Is that it? Path of the Dragon? Maybe. Dragon. Yes, that's the one. FS. Baron? Maybe? Baron Swamp, perhaps? Oh, wait, that's Firelink Shrine, isn't it? I don't actually remember how this works. That's what it's flipped to. I mean, Xanathos Overcoat was... Oh, in the Ashes. Okay, it's in Ashes. Replenishment. Okay, it's with Irina Firelink. Oh, so much to keep track of. I don't know how I'm supposed to find that. So what? That's this. Oh, she's gone. You around somewhere? That's a lady that's usually right here. She's somewhere else? I need to take her coven. This is really only one of the great. The only one of the only few great swords I can use is the one I have equipped.
Pretty, be careful. I go.
The problem is I can't get. Well, okay, I can get to another boss
It wasn't it.
because what does this need? Scales and a bunch of money.
Pretty, I go.
Maybe I just do a cheaper greatsword. Okay.
Just wasn't it.
Just not getting anywhere with this shit. No, they're all about the same price. Which one has the best dex scaling? Guess this one. +7's fine.
Pretty, I go.
I don't think you have any dunks. Is that what I need? Oh, you've got one. That's unhelpful. I need two. Oh, wait, I can buy multiple.
Ashen White.
Okay.
Just wasn't it. Pretty, I go.
At some point, everybody says, I'm going to try new. Why am I so heavy? Good God. All right. Probably have lighter gloves. There we go. Yeah, those still look pretty good. Hell yeah. And then it's just back to Consume King Garden no matter what, I think. There's no way to Archdragon. Grand Archives is kept with what's the name? Arena? Yeah, this lady. Okay. Oh, might as well do that. A little bit of a detour. I don't even have the right key. Oh, God. Oh, great swords. My beloved great sword. Why is there a dog? What a fantastic weapon type, for real. All right, jump off this. Oh God, right, there's a giant dog in here. Did it clip through the wall again? No. Okay. Sort of an unceremonious death. A little bit of one. I wonder if this has a good dodge. Right. How does it attack after I dodge? Okay, that's fine. I prefer the jabs. I do not have that key. That's fine. I might be able to survive the drop. Something I've... Oh. Okay. Something I've found recently is that... Let's see, what does it say? Dropping down the cliff, left of... Oh, there. Okay. Like, I already knew that inspiration was a strange, fickle thing that kind of did whatever the fuck it wanted. But I've been really, you know, feeling that. And also that, I don't know, I think the concept of inspiration and muse is sort of, and it's not incorrect, but most of the inspiration I find is the inspiration to force myself into doing things. Right? I usually have the idea for something to do, but rarely do I actually do things. Oh, wow. Okay. Got a shortcut there. Cool. This is a slow attack greatsword for sure. Ow. Actually need to be mindful about stamina as well. Okay. Inspiration. Right. Oh, Nameless King Soul. Recently, it's come in the form of songs pretty often. Just like I'll be listening to a song, and hi, hello, yep. They just kind of talk about like
Then I am praised.
I don't know, working hard.
Oh, I am again your time, but if... Oh, Ash I, Irina of Karim.
And it kind of gets me to be like, right, I should this is something I want to do. I should actually do. I should actually go for it. I need to do it, man. It's surprisingly tough to do that sometimes. So having the inspiration to actually do something is always good. Especially because there's something I've been meaning to do, and it doesn't have a deadline. It kind of has a, I don't know, the opposite of a deadline. It has a start date. I guess it doesn't really have an end date. I mean, I guess it does. Everything eventually. Huh. Oh, I need that. And I need that. Okay. I also have a bunch of tomes. I guess I can.
Nattail, what?
I guess I can see what all.
Champions of only the little.
Let's see, what else do you got in here? Bunch of garbage.
Have a plus, I pray.
That's pretty right. So yeah, it has like a start date, and it's probably I should do it as soon as possible. But it just it takes the want and will to do it.
Ah, Gracious.
There's some new ashes. Purchase. Where's my damn gesture? There it is. Path of the Dragon.
Ashen One.
Okay. Here we go. Here to dancer. So anyway, I was working on that. It was why I was a couple minutes later than I wished to be. Kind of working on stuff. It always takes longer to set up than I think it does. Every time I start setting up and I think about it, it's like, it takes like 5 seconds to set up stream. And then there's something I've forgotten and it takes me way longer than it should. And then I'm late. God, it feels good to be using a greatsword. Especially because my heavy dex focus isn't a bad thing with this sword. Few greatswords is it like truly a bad thing to have just dex, but you know. Man, they really got to get better elevators here in old Lothric Castle. They're rough, and they should also probably clean up this place. I thought it was under like an overhang or some shit. I have no idea where this item is. Maybe it's that one. Maybe that one. No, that's a Gnaw. Classic Dark Souls item everyone knows about. Gnaw. Wait, what the hell is this? Where does this go? I mean, I have a good idea of where it goes. Actually, I have no fucking idea where this goes. Oh. I cannot say I've ever been here before. I feel like I'm always so thorough. But then it turns out I'm wrong. Maybe this is the item? No. Where are my damn keys, game? Are these my keys? Oh, that's snap freeze. Huh. Always wondered how to unlock that. Especially as I was walking past it like 20 times. I was thinking like, man, there's gotta be a way to unlock this door. I wonder how to do it. Thank goodness I figured it out. All it took was looking for an item that very much was not here. Maybe this is it? Nope. Hey man, do you have the item I need? No, unbelievable. Unbelievable. How could you not have the one item I need? Already checked there. Damn. Oh, is this it? No. Come on, there can't be that many more items in this area. Where the hell is it? Weird. I need to go back to a bonfire, because otherwise I'm going to die, but... Huh. Weird. I don't know. Bastard sword. They're called that because they wielded with one or two hands. Like, they're small enough to be used as a one-handed sword. You probably shouldn't, but you can. Use it as a two-handed sword. So it's sort of like a 1.5-handed sword. Why do they call it a bastard sword? Because it's kind of weird. It's like, kind of a bastard sword. Not quite great, not quite bad. Not quite like it's not quite a great sword, not quite a long sword. It's kind of just in the middle there. Wonder what the... Oh, okay. Alright, we'll see how much better this one goes. I am very used to the timings of this weapon, which I feel like are... Oh, much quicker. No, never mind, they're the exact same. I just usually have it one-handed and I can't do that. Ooh. Mostly because I usually use a Farron greatsword instead of Wolf Knight. And Farron, while you can two-hand it, you're not actually two-handing the sword. You're basically holding a shield. Not a shield, it's a dagger that you can parry with, and that's all it does. Cool as fuck, though. That's my favorite weapon. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Oh. No. Oh. I got no. That should have been easy progress, but I had the fucking bones equipped. Ugh. I've been playing a lot of Terraria recently, and I do that fucking constantly. Where I'll, like, teleport back to the base, and then I'll get to wherever I'm going, and then teleport back because I actually didn't swap off whatever teleport item I used. So fucking annoying. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 3 random enemies. One of whom is currently on fire. And now dead. Unbelievable. I think I'll give this 1 or 2 more attempts for tonight, and then I'll call it. I still got things I need to do, unfortunately. Oh, mostly because my school year is starting in like 4 days. Such bullshit. Has 2 weeks until their school year starts. I have 4 days. You know how bad that feels? I'm so used to like a 6-week winter break. And now it's, I mean, 4 weeks is still a long time, but it's 2/3 the length. I'm missing a lot in there. Someone stole 30% of my break. I know this isn't gonna like make dodging the boss any easier. Oh my god, he stuns you for so long. But the positive of the greatsword is I need to dodge him for half as long. But I do twice as much damage. Are you hiding from me? Oh, way too early. What could you possibly fear? Oh, my dear little ocelot. This guy, an ocelot, man. Like, I get it, he's pretty cool. He's from Metal Gear, but he's not that cool. God, people are probably sick of hearing that fucking joke. What is the problem when a character in a thing you like is the same as a more popular character and a more popular thing other people like a lot? Oh, I really don't feel like fighting this guy. I think I'm gonna call it here. A little bit shorter for first stream back, but you know, good to do things the proper way. You know, kind of lead back into everything. I'll probably stream again on Tuesday. I don't know. I might take more time off just to try to avoid thinking about school. I don't know. I suppose we'll see. Let's see whenever I stream next.